Are your pets vacation ready? Planning a trip can be so much fun that actually a lot of us enjoy the planning phase even more than the trip itself. Usually because other people are involved in the trip, not so much the planning. Maybe that's just me. But what about your pet's vacation plans? That trip you are so looking forward to is actually a big change for our fur babies. So, even though it's temporary, that trip can add so much physical and emotional stress to our pets that can leave them feeling worse off than they were before vacation. So, let's make sure your fur kids have a safe and a low stress time while you're planning these trips because after all, isn't that the whole point of vacation, to be stress free and relieve stress and come back feeling better? We want that for the whole family, including the fur kids, whether or not the fur babies are staying home or coming with us. So, who am I to be sharing these tips with you? If you're new to my world, welcome. I'm Dr. Vicky, channel chiropractor for people as well as pets. I'm a mind body coach and a Reiki healer, and I'm here to help you and your fur kids be your very best. So you can go out and enjoy life, not just live it. There's so many of us who are just stuck in the day in, day out, taking whatever life hands us. But instead, you should be out enjoying life, participating, and designing the life that you really want for you and your fur babies. Living life at your very best and at their very best. And a big part of how so many of us right now are getting ready for shaking off all of the crazy that we have been going through and all of the wackadoodle things that life has thrown at us, getting back to reclaiming and designing our life is designing our vacations. It is time to take a trip. Whether that is a staycation, but this video is more focusing on vacations, trips away from home, getting away from it all and hitting that reset button. If you have fur kids, we want to make sure they are having just as much fun with your vacation time as you are, whether they're coming with you or not. So let's dive in to make sure that they are having a safe and stress-free, or at least low stress time while you're on vacation, whether they're with you or not. So let's first talk about if you are leaving them behind, because not always is it appropriate to take our fur kids with us. For example, I have a cat who very much likes her house and very much hates our trips with every fiber of her fluffy being. We don't take her places. She gets to stay home. Some pets do better in a boarding situation or staying at grandma's house. Whatever your pet's best needs are, if that is not coming with you on vacation, it's time to make sure that all plans are in place so that they are as low stress alone at home or at boarding or at grandma's as possible. Because for most of us, our pets have been with us 24/7 for the past 15 months. They might need a vacation from us at this point, but when you leave, this is where we're going to start seeing some of that separation anxiety come back, or just loneliness in general. You haven't probably been gone for overnight in a really long time. And that is a big change. For the pets who don't leave the house very often or at all, their whole world exists within your four walls. When you step out of it, they don't know where you went or when you will be back. Kind of stressful. So, what can you do to help them start easing them into you being away? If they are going to be staying at home, start leaving the house for longer periods of time. Gradually building up to it, giving them lots of treats and lots of encouragement when you leave and when you come back so that they can get more accustomed to you being gone. If you're going to have a pet sitter or a house sitter come by and check on them, start having them come over before you ever leave. And gradually introduce your pets to this person, whether it's someone that they have never met before or someone that they know but maybe haven't seen in the past 15 months. Gradually get them used to this person being around. Start introducing that person being there when you're not there. Because we all know kids of all varieties, two legged, three legged, and four legged, tend to act a little different when mom and dad are around. So start getting them used to your pet sitter or your house sitter being there when you're not home long before you go on your trip. Now, how about the ones that are going to be having doggy daycare or kitty daycare? Staying away from home. They get to get away while you do, even though they're not with you. Start getting them familiar gradually with where it is they're going to go. Get them familiar with the boarding place. Lots of boarding facilities will do happy visits, as I've seen it called some places. Some other places might call it something else, where you are more than welcome to bring your fur baby by just to say hi to the staff. Let the staff love on them for a few minutes, and then you go back home. And maybe swing by somewhere and get them a treat on the way. But you get them familiar with the place that they will be and the people that they will be with without the added stress of you leaving them there yet. And gradually getting them used to that. Get them more acclimated to where it is they're going to be and who it is they're going to be with. Same thing if they're going to stay with a friend or with grandma, whoever else. Start getting them used to being there, getting them used to being with that person. And again, once they're a little more used to that, you can pop out of the door for a minute or two and then come back. Start getting them used to, okay, mom might leave for a bit and it'll be okay. Now, what about if your fur baby is coming on this trip with you? Yay! It's so much fun when you can include the FurKids in your family vacation, even if your family is just you and your FurKids. So much fun when you can take them with you if they're not freaking out and if they're safe. We don't want to put our fur babies in any kind of danger or sketchy situation. So when you're planning your road trip, whether it's just driving up to the airport or driving cross country, wherever it is that you're going, make sure part of your planning process includes what your pets need. And the number one, very first thing at the top of that list needs to be safety. There are so many folks who let their pets roam free in their vehicles, which has a level of caution and danger to it. Because no matter how safely you drive, there are factors outside of your control. At any point, some other idiot could be an idiot. Something could fly onto the road right in front of you. You could blow a tire. Any of these situations could happen at the drop of a hat. So your pets need to be safe because it's not just, it is partly we need to make sure that they're not going to go flying if the car comes to a sudden stop. We want to make sure they're secured from that. We also want to make sure they're secured if there is a high adrenaline event where we have to stop and open up the door to check what's going on outside the car. Because if they are loose inside the vehicle and there is a high adrenaline event, adrenaline means fight or flight. And most of the time, there's not a threat that they can fight, so they will go into flight in those high adrenaline events. And as soon as you open the door, a lot of times pets will take off. So, first thing you need to make sure of when you're planning for the pet's experience on your vacation, especially if it's a road trip, is making sure that you have what you need to keep them secure inside the vehicle. To where if you open the door, they're not going to be able to bolt. Or if something happens and the car comes to a sudden and unplanned stop, they're going to be safe. There are so many products out there online. You can check with your vet as well to see what it is that they need. Because Some pets do well in carriers or in crates, and there's different ways to secure those safely. Some pets really need to be able to stretch their legs inside the vehicle, but we want to make sure that they're also secure and safe at the same time. There's a lot of different products out there to do that. So, number one is safety. Safety first. In the crafting world, we joke safety is third, but really safety is first. Now that that is taken care of, let's start practicing those road trips. Just like with the fur kids that are going to be staying behind, and you want to practice leaving and practice where it is that they're going to be staying. If the fur kids are coming with you, you'll want to start practicing getting them used to being on longer car rides or on car rides in the first place. Most of the time, if you're taking your fur baby with you, they've been on car rides with you before, maybe around town, maybe going up to the store. But they might not be used to being in the car for an hour or 4 hours or 10 hours, or however far it is that you're driving. Start getting them used to longer and longer trips in the car so that they can get used to, okay, this is a thing now. I can settle in. At first, they're usually really excited or a little anxious, but after a bit, they'll learn, okay, everything's fine. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing now. So I can just chill, get them used to it. And if your fur babies are going to be going on excursions with you once you get to your destination, maybe you're going to go take them hiking up in the mountains. Maybe you're going to go running on the beach with them, go swimming in the lake, whatever it is that you're going to be doing. If your fur baby's going to be doing it with you, chances are they have been a couch potato just like you have on the couch for the past 15 months, not doing much. Whatever it is that you're going to be doing on vacation with them, start getting them used to it now. Small, gradual increments. If that is going to be hiking, start doing gradually increasing walks. Maybe start taking them onto some terrain. Back to the safety point, maybe see if they need some booties or something to protect their paws in case it's hot or it's cold or it's rocky. Making sure they are all taken care of. Those feet are so important. We know how important that is to keep our feet safe. We want to keep their feet safe too. If you're going to go running on the beach, see if you can find a spot with some sand where they can get used to it. You know, walking in sand is different than walking off the ground. Same for them. If you don't have a beach handy, and that's the entire reason you're going to the beach, see if you can find somewhere with a sand volleyball pit, maybe in a park, or finding a sandy beach at a creek or a river where some places do like public swimming, where there's a natural beach. Find a sandy spot if you can. So, when we're planning our vacation, it is so exciting. We want to make sure we're planning for our fur babies as well. One more thing we want to make sure of is that they are at their very best, physically, mentally, and emotionally before the vacation ever starts. A big part of that is making sure that we've got everything all planned out for them, just like we've got it all planned out for us. And the other very important part is making sure that they are at their very best with a tune-up. We want to make sure that they get a checkup with their vet to make sure everything internally is doing well. And we want to get them a checkup with chiropractic care to make sure they are moving at their very best. Have you ever gone on vacation and done a whole hoop and bunch of walking or sat in the car for hours on end and you weren't quite at your best when you started? And by an hour or two in, definitely by the end of the day, you are feeling miserable because your body is not happy with what you have been doing. Because it was not happy to begin with, but it was putting up with it. You're going to go do all of this crazy stuff that's out of the ordinary, that it's not used to. It ain't putting up with you. And you can get so miserable that you miss out on a lot of the fun that could be had on that trip. The same thing happens in our fur babies. So we want to make sure that they are at their very best, that their bodies are feeling the greatest they possibly can, so that when we do our vacation, whether they're coming with us or they're staying home, they are able to enjoy that time to the max and feel even better on the other side of the vacation, which is the whole point. So, if you're ready to get your fur baby that gentle chiropractic tune up, or you're not quite sure if that's what they need, reach out to me. Let's do a no charge phone consultation to make sure I'm the right fit for them and what they've got going on and where it is you're going. Give me a call or send me a text message to let me know that you'd like that no charge phone consult. You can reach me at 636-751-3150, or you can hop over to my website at completewellnesscc.com and click the tab at the top that says Set Your Consult. I look forward to hearing from you and hearing all about your plans for vacation and your FurKids plans for their vacation. Until next time, go out and start getting that planning going.